rolling tumors to roaring lampooners, the Tigers on a Roll show starts in 3, 2, 1.
War Eagle, everybody, and welcome back to the Tigers on a Roll podcast. Whew. All right, folks. If you have any fingernails left, you are stronger than I am. What a night of Auburn basketball. Both the men's and women's team opened their seasons last night, November 3rd, and both went to overtime. And spoiler alert, both came out with a W. You absolutely love to see it. Those Tigers are certainly on a roll. But that's not the only thing. Rolling on the plains, the big story, the one everyone's talking about, is the future of Auburn football and Hugh Freeze rolling out of town. That coaching search is officially on, and we are breaking down those basketball thrillers. And I'll be giving 5 coaches on the Tigers on a Roll hot board as of today, who I think will lead the Tigers next season. But first up, basketball. The Stephen Pearl era began last night, and it was trial by fire. The number 20 ranked Tigers hosted Bethune-Cookman, and let's be honest, this was supposed to be a comfortable tune-up, but it was anything but. Auburn wins it 95-90 in overtime, and you just look at the final box score, you might see the 48 points in the paint, 32 bench points, and think, all right, classic Auburn. Good depth, but that doesn't tell the whole story because they didn't turn that on until the second half. I mean, this game was an absolute knife fight. Because of the turnovers and the lack of free throw make percentage. I mean, at least in the first half, the Tigers were miserable. 9 for 16 from the line in the first half. It kept the Wildcats in it. But credit to Stephen Pearl and the team. They flipped the script on them. In the second half and overtime, they went 20 for 22 from the charity stripe. They set Keyshawn Hall set a record for free throws made in a game at Neville Arena. I mean, what a turnaround in that second half. But the hero of the night is Kevin Overton. With a minute left in the game, he gets 2 massive steals and scores 4 straight points to put the Tigers up. And he gets another steal in overtime. And he finishes the night with 13 points and 4 steals. He's a defensive stalwart that Auburn needed with the loss of their bigs last year. But shout out also to Hall with a monster 20-point, 10-rebound double-double, and Murphy, who was 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. I mean, those 3 guys, those are the 3 stars of the game right there. I mean, 3 stars of an ugly game. It was stressful, but it's a win. And it shows that the Auburn men's team has some serious grit, but so does the women's team. They had their own overtime battle on the road in Charlotte. That was a debut of a new head coach as well. And just like the men, they found another gear when it mattered most, and they ended up winning 71-58 in OT. That game was all about the freshman Harisam Kolabali. She was good all night, but in overtime, the Parisians scored 9 of their 19 points in the extra period. So shout out to her, but shout out also to the women's Tigers basketball team. Their defense was incredible when the men's were not incredible. Auburn jumped out to a 9-0 lead. Charlotte obviously had clawed back, but in overtime, the Tigers shut the door on them. And they forced 7 turnovers in the 5-minute OT period. Absolute studs that we've got out there under a new coaching staff, a new head coach. But that was an incredible get for them on the road to kick their season off. What a start for both programs. 1-0 for both going into the rest of this regular season play and the beginning of their Auburn careers. Both have teams that can handle the pressure. They proved it last night. And you can't ask, well, it could have gone very poorly, but you can't ask for a better opening night than that. Good to come out with some wins. Those Tigers, again, are on a roll. Now, since we've wrapped basketball, let's get a read from our sponsors. Brahma Marketing is your one-stop shop for everything from signs and apparel to high-impact vehicle wraps. As a certified 3M graphics company, they guarantee quality and durability. They've partnered with Greystar Real Estate, Prisma Health, HD Supply, and more. Stop blending in and start standing out. Visit brahmamarketing.com to get started on your next project. War Eagle from the Orlando Auburn Club. Are you an Auburn alum or fan living in the Orlando area? This is more than just a club. It's your official connection to the Auburn family right here in Central Florida. The club hosts watch parties and networking events for past, current, and future Tigers and their families. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and online at orlandooauburnclub.org. So it's official. As of Sunday, November 2nd, Auburn has moved on from head coach Hugh Freeze, and that is not a surprise who anyone watched at least the Kentucky game. The offense was broken. The team is 4-5 overall, 1-5 in the SEC, and it just was not working. After bringing in a top 10 recruiting class, the results on the field just were not there. So athletic director John Cohen made the move. Defensive coordinator DJ Durkin will serve as the interim for the rest of the season. And honestly, I would love it if DJ led this program for a whole year and brought in some people to help him on the offensive side of the ball and see what we could cook up because these players love him. But that is the question on everyone's mind. Who's next? The search is on, and this hire is critical. Auburn has the resources, the facilities, and the brand to compete for championships, but they have to get this right. I've looked at hundreds of reports. I've heard the inside chatter, and I've put together a hot board. And these are the most probable names I think that you will hear connected with this job, ones you've probably already heard, but we're going to take a look at why they could be the next coach and why they might not be the next coach. Obviously, give me 1 second. Obviously, you've got John Sumrall, Tulane head coach. He is the top candidate. He is the name everyone is mentioning first. Huntsville native. He knows the SEC, and his resume is stellar, albeit not at, the power level that everyone wants this next head coach to be as a proven commodity. His resume is stellar. 23-4 at Troy, 2 Sun Belt titles, and he's already got Tulane rolling kind of right off the rip. A defensive-minded head coach, former Kentucky DC, by the way, who builds tough, disciplined teams just like Durkin. Auburn's identity has always been rooted in having a suffocating defense and a power run game that just will not quit and gets you that 1 yard at a time, and Sumrall is perfect for it. But why he might not be is he is the hottest group of 5 coach on the market without question. He will likely be a top target for other SEC jobs, LSU, Florida, maybe not Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Kentucky if Stoops leaves. So this could turn into a bidding war that I'm not sure Auburn wants to stay in. You could easily see Auburn bow out of that and kind of wash their hands of the Summerall chatter, even though I think that he is at the top right now. Then you've got James Franklin, currently unemployed, recently fired by Penn State. And he performed in the SEC. Like, don't forget what he did at Vanderbilt. 24 games, 24 wins and 2 bowl games in 3 years. Like, he knows the SEC and he knows what it takes to recruit and win here. He did it at a team now that is quite good. When he was there was an absolute laughing stock of the SEC, bottom of the barrel, was everyone's homecoming, whatever. Vanderbilt sucked, and he turned that thing around, and he did all right, and he got himself one of the better jobs in college football at Penn State. And he ultimately goes 128-60 as a head coach so far in his career, takes Penn State to the CFP, and he's a guy that Auburn could bring in, instant stability, some structure to the program that's kind of in flux right now, and he has a high floor. He has had a high floor. You never know what happens at Auburn, but Auburn desperately needs some stability and a high floor that with a guy that can meet expectations after the last two failed hires. Now, why he won't be just fired from Penn State for failing to get past Ohio State and Michigan. Is Auburn really willing to hire another recently fired coach? And can Franklin Style win a national title in this new era of SEC ball, NIL, and just like what he would be working with at Auburn, given the recent history and kind of how this next generation of player views these programs? Yeah, I mean, you never know. And you never know, but he is one of the guys where you can look at it and you're like, all right, this is one of those proven commodities that might be a serious solution for Auburn's problems right now. And I've got him on the board. And I've also got Kenny Dillingham, head coach at Arizona State. If fans remember him, well, I hope you remember him. He was Auburn's offensive coordinator and QB coach in 2019 when Bo Nix won Freshman of the Year. The offense was on fire, 33 points. I mean, a number Auburn hasn't sniffed since then, in all honesty. Shout out to Bo Nix for tearing it up at Oregon. At least he was a dark horse for Heisman at Auburn, but killed it at Oregon, is killing it in the pros. And Kenny Dillingham was a part of that journey for him. I mean, Kenny Dillingham has got that it factor. If you follow us on Twitter, I've been posting what I'm looking for in a head coach, and this is one of them. Being young. 35 with an elite offensive mind, a relentless recruiter. I mean, he just took his ASU, who's his alma mater. He just takes his alma mater to a Big 12 title and a CFP appearance last season. He's one of the brightest guys, young guys right now in the game. But that also is probably why he won't be Auburn's head coach. He's at his alma mater. He's just building them into a championship program. And it would take a massive offer and a very compelling pitch by Cohen to pull him away from a place where right now he is a hero and he is their young stud that they are going to build off of. So that you might not see it, but you're going to see it. You might not see him come to Auburn, but you're going to see his name on these hop boards. And another guy who I don't think leaves his alma mater that everyone's talking about is Brent Keys, Georgia Tech head coach, an Alabama guy. He's from Trussville and a former Alabama offensive line coach under Nick Saban. And you know how Saban's tree branches out with some of the success that you've seen with these guys at varying levels of football. But Keith certainly understands the state of Alabama, understands the rivalry that is the Iron Bowl, and puts an importance on the line of scrimmage, which our last few staffs, credit to Hugh Freeze, he did, but our last few staffs did not have good OL recruiting, and that is one of the things that you absolutely need to win in the trenches in the SEC. He's done a phenomenal job at Georgia Tech. They were more irrelevant than Vandy was before Franklin got there, but they're 8-1 this season. Before their recent loss, but 8-1, 8-2 now. That's still good. Auburn would cut its left toe off if it could to be 8-2 right now, or 8-1, whatever they are. But he's proven that he can build a winning program. And just like Dillingham, I think that's one of the reasons why he probably won't be Auburn's next head coach. He's coaching his alma mater. He's seeing huge success. He has immense job security, and he probably doesn't want to leave a program that he loves to jump into the pressure cooker that is Auburn football, Auburn athletics. I don't know that I see him actually coming to Auburn, but He's an option. You pay enough money. I think everyone's got a price. And then fifth, which will round out the hot board for at least today, you never know what it'll look like in a couple days, is Drink. We got Eli Drinkwitz, head coach at Missouri. Why he could be the Auburn head coach is that he's got proven SEC success. He's quietly built Missouri into a contending SEC program. Smart offensive coach, proven he can win and win consistently in the SEC. And it's not a deep connection to Auburn, but he was a quality control analyst at Auburn in 2010, 2011. Like, the guy knows the building, knows the culture, knows his way around Lee County. You know, Drink's an option with some loose ties to Auburn. But why he might not be is because is it an upgrade? Is it an upgrade for him? He's already got a good thing going at Mizzou, just like Dillingham and Key. You know, like, he's got a good thing going at Missouri, and he's built that program his way. Would he leave that stability and lower pressure job, by the way? Like, Missouri, they're happy to see the success that they have. Would he want to leave that for the volatility of the current iteration of Auburn football? Even if Auburn football does have a higher ceiling eventually, or with the right play caller even right now, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how this is all going to shake out, but, you know, those are the guys I'm keeping an eye on right now. And do not come talking to me about Jimbo Fisher and Fran Brown. Like I said yesterday, not going to move the needle at Auburn. Don't do it. Keep them off the radar. And if they're in the mix, maybe do your due diligence before you go anywhere near those guys talking about any serious investment or any serious integration with this football program, because those are not the answer. And that's one of the things that I thought was very interesting the other day too, is that Cohen said that he wasn't going to use a search firm to do that due diligence. And it's like, okay, well, he said he's going to listen to industry experts. Well, you know what, John Cohen, you better tune in to Tigers on a Roll, because we've got some opinions. We might not be an expert, but we're talking, and you said you're going to listen. So do not touch Jimbo Fisher. But anyway, I wanted to get a point of clarity out there from yesterday. I said the window opened for kids to start discussing leaving in this window that opens under a new head coach. That is not immediate. And it's not a 30-day window anymore, which is where I misspoke. I said it was 30 days. The NCAA changed the rule recently, actually last month, like October 7th or whatever it was. So it used to be when a head coach was fired, a 30-day window open to transfer immediately for all players on the roster. The new rule that was just adopted is when a head coach is fired, no window opens immediately, but instead a special 15-day transfer window will open for players. But that doesn't start until 5 days after a new head coach is hired and announced. So to be totally clear, no Auburn player can enter the portal right now just because of the coaching change. They have to wait until John Cohen hires the next permanent head coach. And, honestly, I can't believe I mixed that up. I should know better. But it makes sense, The NCAA changed it to prevent any mid-season mass exodus from these programs that are getting rid of their coaches and trying to find something new leadership in their programs. And it stops the roster from being just completely gutted before an interim coach can even finish the season. And then it'll also give the new head coach just a fighting chance to come in, meet the guys, and re-recruit guys that are already in the locker room and are familiar with the program. And that is how the new rule works. So when a permanent replacement is announced, that is when the 15-day window opens. It is not just because Hugh Freeze was fired like it used to be. So there you have it. A win for Auburn hoops, with both teams showing some toughness in overtime, which is the women's team and the men's team. Obviously, Bethune Cookman showed some toughness. I mean, those guys were fearless taking taking threes from the logo. I mean, they were absolutely on fire. I think Steph Curry might have been wearing like a Halloween mask or something out there because they were actually absolutely knocking them down. But the next few weeks for Stephen Pearl is really important. I think that they're going to handle it, and they've got like Merrimack or something coming up, and they'll be fine there, and they'll get their feet under them. And then DJ Durkin will get his feet under him. The next few weeks are going to be really wild for Auburn football, but Durkin has a chance to rally this team, which he's already started doing this week, going into Vandy in Nashville, and then ultimately, of course, the Iron Bowl at the end of the season. Let's see what Durkin can do, because he is low-key auditioning for this head coaching role at Auburn, and the kids love him. He's an absolute dog, a really hard-nosed football coach who has a deep understanding of the game, and especially the defensive side of the ball. And then John Cohen is getting in to conduct the most important job search of his career. And we will be here to cover all of it. But until next time, thanks for listening to Tigers on a Roll. And as always, War Eagle, and we'll see you.